Chrysler Town and Country 3.6 liter 2015 model. Alternator change. First step, disconnect the battery. Clip here, clip here, 210 mils. Now take the belt off from here, the tensioner. Okay. That's good enough, I think. Here. Squeeze in. The two nuts on top of the stud and these bolts are number 13. Okay, for the right side you need a extension, the top nut on the stud. For the top stud, to remove the stud, you need a E-Torx number 7. Okay, to access the stud you need to push this AC line down on the top one a little bit up, so then that way you can get an extension and right on the stud. Otherwise you can't do that, you can't take it out. Okay, to access the stud you need to push this AC line down on the top one a little bit up, so then that way you can get an extension and right on the stud. Otherwise you can't do that, you can't take it out. Okay, once the AC compressor is out of the way, you want to make sure you tie it up with the bungee cord or this metal bungee cord that I have, and then but make sure you don't bend these lines. It wouldn't be good for your AC. But this part's a little flexible, so you could push it out to the side a little bit so you can have access to the alternator. And now all we have is this red connector, the other connection right there with the nut onto the alternator, and then we got these two nuts on this, and the bottom nut on top of the stud. So to get the bottom one out, you need to remove this nut first, and then the stud will make it easy, because you don't want to leave the stud in there and then keep swinging on it. There won't be enough space to push it to the side because the frame is there. So it's easier if you take the stud out fully with the nut, and then that way you just bring it down from here. For this red connector you want to make sure you pull this back and then press from the top to remove it. So you want to get a flathead and push this out like how I have it. It was supposed to be right there. You push it back a little bit. It's like a lock, and then once this is back here, then you press the top here and then you squeeze it. It comes out right now. Next you want to take the connection from the battery to the alternator out with the 13mm nut, and we'll go to the main bolts for the alternator. Okay, the connector is now out. Okay, now we can take out the alternator bolts. First we're going to take the top two out, those two, and then we're going to take the bottom one out with the stud. These two are the top alternator bolts. They come out with the stud. One is easy to get out. You could get it out with the socket and ratchet, but the other one you gotta use a flex head 13mm wrench because the fan is in the way. It's the fan. Now when you're getting the side bolt out, you want to make sure you stay away from it, because when you loosen the nut, it can drop on your head from the top. So you want to make sure you're away from it. Once it drops, as soon as you loosen the nut, it will drop. Now you can take the nut out and the stud right after, and then you take the alternator out fully. The alternator is now out. I didn't have to take the stud out. Sometimes there's not enough space to get it out, so you have to take the stud out. It's the same thing. It's a E-Torx number 7. But in this case, I didn't have to take the stud out. I just took the nut out and slid right off. But not all of these vans have enough space to slide it out, like the Dodge Caravan. I'm gonna slide the new alternator through here and slide it back on the stud, and you gotta tighten the nut back on it. Okay, now that the side bolt is on, you want to put back the top bolts. For the right side, as you guys remember, it was hard to take out because it hits the fan, so I made the tip a little shorter and chopped off the top a little bit so I could put a socket back on it, on the right one. AC compressor back. You want to make sure you put the bottom bolts in first, because you could see where to line them up and put them back in the same hole. Otherwise you're going to cross thread it. So I'll start from the bottom too, and then the top line up out of themselves. So once the bottom bolts are on and the top studs are on, put back the 2 nuts that you took off. You want to make sure you tighten the studs back, the E-Torx E7 socket. Once these both studs are tight, you want to tighten the studs and these nuts equally, and then on top of that you want to put this nut on top of the studs back. Once everything is all tightened up, then you want to go ahead and put back the connector for the AC compressor. Put the connector back, you click this back in. Go ahead, put the serpentine bell back on. Make sure it's on all the sleeves correctly and the grooves. Now go ahead and put back the battery terminal and then tighten the connector down. I'll put back this cover, back the two 10mm bolts, this clip and then right here, and now just put the wheel on and torque the wheel.